Welcome back to Health Matters. I'm your host, Natalie Rogers. We've been talking about picky eating. So, Aviva, I think most parents, when their children aren't eating, they take the blame, they take the responsibility on themselves. How much is the parent's role influencing the choices that are, or whether or not a child becomes a picky eater?
I think that parents' actions definitely can play a role, but I wouldn't go as far as say we should blame the parents. I think that parents don't start off doing things like putting the TV on and plopping their child down in front of it while they shovel food into their mouths, or, you know, becoming a short order cook. These aren't things that parents are intending to do from the get-go. What's happening is they want their child to be nourished. They want them to eat. And when they start to struggle with that, they're pulling all of these tricks out of a hat and trying to, you know, come up with these short-term solutions that end up having more long-term consequences.
Right. So you've brought in a chart. So I take it you've got some strategies that you would recommend for parents. So rather than, you know, the shovel thing, which, you know, we've all probably done a little bit of with our little ones. So what do you recommend?
Well, there's different strategies to take, and what I focus on when parents come in, and I actually don't see the children in my office, I see the parents regarding their children, but I start with trying to get to the root of the problem. So find out, why are they not eating, or why are they eating the way that they are? Because depending on what that reason is, or what are the contributing factors, there's going to be a different strategy that I'm going to offer. There's not one way that works for all children when you're dealing with picky eaters.
Right.
So there's one method of offering rewards, and some parents will go about that the wrong way. They're using more bribery or offering rewards of sweets or desserts. You know, oh, if you eat these healthy foods I've prepared, then you can have this junky food at the end of the meal. That's not sending a great message there. But as long as it's a non-food reward, it can be effective for some children. Some children are motivated by rewards, whereas others are not.
Right.
You have to look at the age too. You know, below age 4, they don't really understand that concept.
Right.
But there's this chart, for example. It's called Try Something New. You can actually download it for free and print it off of my website, which is avivaallen.com. And how this works is, every time your child tries a new food, they write it down. Once they get to 10, they get a reward, which you would decide in advance, and you want them involved in that process, something that's going to motivate them. Always a non-food reward. So my children might pick a sleepover at their grandparents, or a trip to the science center, something that's exciting. There's no time limit on it. So, you know, as long as it takes them to get through it, you know, they get a reward. And this is all just about encouraging them to try new foods, right? That's the key. It's not about pressuring them to eat a certain amount of the food you think they should be eating, but just trying to open them up to new experiences.
Right. So something I used to do, you can tell me if I did this wrong, I would just require my daughter to take just one bite of a new food.
Yeah.
It's usually a vegetable, those are the things. Unless it's got ketchup on it, she won't eat it. So.
Yeah, a lot of families do that, the one bite rule, right?
Yeah.
And for some families that really works. For others it doesn't. So like I said, different strategies for different situations.
Yeah, and patience.
Yes.
You have to be really patient.
Yes, and I think your goal as a parent is to take your child and try and teach healthy eating habits to them that will last them into adulthood. It's not just about how much are they eating at this particular meal, or this week, or this month even. It's about building these healthy eating habits, and that will take time.
Right, and something a pediatrician told me years ago, because I used to obsess when I was a young mom, was he said most healthy children will not starve themselves.
Yes, so
and they eat a lot less than you think they eat.
Yes, and I hear that a lot. Most children, it's true, will not starve themselves. However, there is a small percentage of the pediatric population, maybe 3 to 5%, that actually would starve themselves. So you have to.
I didn't have one of those.
Right. So and like I mentioned before, when there may be some sensory issues involved, that's more likely where you'll see that type of a child. So you just have to be cautious of that if that's the strategy you end up deciding to go with.
Right. Now, there are a lot of cookbooks on the market designed to hide vegetables.
Yes.
And I confess I've put spinach in blueberry muffins till my daughter caught me in the process, and she's like, "Mommy, get this spinach out of the blueberry muffins."
It's such an interesting point, though, because you have to be careful when you're sneaking foods in. if your child catches you, then
Yeah,
first of all,
mistrust.
you've ruined that food for them, because now they'll never eat a muffin again.
That's right.
And secondly, you've taught them that they can't trust you.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think, there's a certain appeal to parents of sneaking fruits and vegetables or whatever into other foods.
Right.
Because the parents feel better. They feel like they're doing their job, they're getting those nutrients into their child.
Right.
And I think it doesn't hurt to add extra nutrients where you can, but you just
Right.
have to be careful that it's not the only way you can get vegetables into your child. You still need to teach them those skills, teach them to actually enjoy eating whole fruits and vegetables.
Right.
Because you're not going to be there to sneak in the foods forever. Your kids go off to university, hopefully, at some point, and then
Yes, and then it's pizza,
Right?
pizza, pizza.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.